welcome to the presentation of LANCK Telecom Fraud Management System. We have a couple more minutes before we start so that people will gather up, and we will start the presentation. So far, I hope the sound is good. If anybody would like to comment on the sound or on the video, you can do that in the comment section. I have it open, so hope everyone is clearly visible and the sound is okay. Let's wait maybe 1 or 2 minutes more, and then we will start. Okay, so I think we're good to go. If anybody would be joining us later on, it's all good. They can, join us and view the presentation in some quantity, in some amount, and then ask their questions in the comment section on the right. They all good, so the comments are going through. So if you would like, at any point, if you would like to know some details about any feature or aspect of fraud management system, just let me know. Okay, welcome to the presentation of Fraud Management System by LANCK Telecom. My name is Igor Skutsinya. I'm a business development manager for anti-fraud products and RCS team leader. And today we will be covering fraud management system in the premium version. We, as LANCK Telecom, are an international wholesale carrier in voice and SMS. We develop software products for telecoms. We do lots of mobile services, and we're one of the few names that are recognized in the mobile world with both voice and SMS quality and quantity. So today we will be talking about our fraud management system. We already have more than 100 operators and voice service providers that are using it worldwide. We have them on virtually all continents except Antarctica, and we're very much welcome our partners to use that to full capacity and to see what kind of features are added in the premium version if comparing it to the basic one. So majority of our partners are still using basic version, and some voice partners are a little hesitant to join join FMS. So this presentation would be kind of aiding both categories in making their minds. So you will know, if you're using a basic version, you will know why you probably would like to switch to a premium version. And if you're not yet using our fraud management system, we will be showing you a complete list of features that would be available once you actually do. So what we have right now is our dashboard. It's kind of a manager's overview with statistics of fraud management system work. It shows us active blockages, fraud attacks, fraud calls, top destinations, and the last fraud calls that triggered the system. And let's dive in and just show you how it works. So this is the kind of entrance. This is where you end up after you log into the system. You have the demo user, that would be the name of the account holder. I mean, lots of operators have more than 10 users that are logging in our system and are using it to monitor their traffic. And this would be the name of the company that they are part of. As far as analytical information, we think that it's necessary to show you the most crucial one, the one that is connected to active blockages and fraud attacks, so that once you get in, you right away know what's going on, what kind of traffic was blocked, how many attacks did you sustain for the day, how many fraud calls did it consist of. So we see here the active blockages, and this is just the number, so you kind of have an overview of that. And at the very bottom of the page, you see active blockages with details. You will see the severity of attacks. This is the potential damage that it would inflict if the system wouldn't have reacted. We see the method. That would be proactive monitoring and custom rules. We will kind of explore both methods later on. We see the A number. We see the B number here. We see the exact time, the UTC time when the blockage took place. We see when the blockage is expiring. And most of all, we give an opportunity to unblock this, to reverse this blockage for those companies that would like to provide the service to their voice clients regardless of the judgment made by the fraud management system. This is already one of the differences that are between basic version and premium version. With basic version, the blockages aren't there. With basic version, the system only sends an instant alarm through email or Telegram or Slack that something is going on. It lists the details of the call that triggered the system, and just kind of it kind of gives the responsibility to the partner as to the decision that is to be made about this this case. With premium version, you have blockages on, so if the blockages are enabled, the system does that instantly, and it greatly decreases the time necessary to react, and it decreases the damage that an attack might inflict onto the traffic partner, because obviously it takes time to to read the notification, to discover what it's all about, to perhaps do some analytics, to make a decision if there needs to be some discussion before the decision is made. It all contributes to the damage inflicted. So we think that kind of enabling our system to block the traffic instantly would save a lot of costs and would gradually increase the quality of service provided. In terms of fraud attacks and fraud calls, you kind of monitor the statistics, and you see this graph here that would show the daily number of attacks sustained for a certain partner. or the number of fraudulent calls that are sustained daily. So you see if there's a spike, if there's a decrease, you see how is it going. You can compare that to the peak months, peak days, peak weeks, or if you have a surge all of a sudden. You also see the top destinations for fraudulent calls for the last 30 days. Right now we're in a demo platform. We have the live traffic of one of our partners being used as kind of a test subject. Obviously they gave us their consent, they know what is going on, but obviously the decisions that are made within this interface will not affect the actual system reaction that is assigned to this particular partner. So this is live traffic, but the decisions that are made here aren't brought into life. So the top B destinations would be real for that partner. That would be these countries, and obviously every partner is different. The structure of traffic is different. Destinations that they work with are different. So each and every partner would have a different list of B destinations that are used in fraudulent calls. If you would like to know more about the fraud destinations that are typical for mobile, we highly recommend consulting the CFCA. They recently released a fraud loss survey for 2021. Some great data is given there. We obviously are cooperating with them on anti-fraud, and we highly recommend using that as a source of information about what's going on with voice fraud in the world. So here we also see the last fraudulent calls that triggered the system. We see the reaction, we see the severity of attacks, we see the method that's being used. Right now this is custom rules for these A and B numbers. We see the destination, we see the time, and this is exactly the information that you will see about the fraudulent calls that went through the system. If you would like to kind of have a breakdown, or you would like to download the information about fraudulent calls, if you would like to analyze it by your own analytical tool, if you would like to go outside of our dashboard, then you can either browse it here, and, load it like this, and you can download those in the CSV format. If you would like only to have analytics only for rejected calls, or only for broken calls, you can see here. You can filter them out by the protection methods being used, whether it be proactive monitoring, behavior analysis, custom rules, or blacklist. You can kind of, if you would like to extract only the data you need, only the data that you think is relevant, you can use those parameters here and only download the necessary information, the necessary excerpt of the information that you look for. Same thing with fraudulent attacks. Obviously, the attacks involve many calls, so if you would like to kind of compress those and only get the manager's overview about fraudulent attacks, then this is the section on the left that you would like to be using. Again, you can browse the sections on the left, and this is how we're going to structure this presentation. We're just going to go one function by function by one function. Okay, so this is kind of analytical overview, and active blockages also provide you some insight. We have partners with hundreds and even thousands of active blockages simultaneously because of the volume of traffic that is being analyzed by our system. Right now we only have 2, but that's because just the volumes of traffic is not as large as with some of our partners, and obviously they're not under attack currently. So we highly recommend going to the dashboard and just having it somewhere in the background so that you would take a glimpse one time or 2 times a day. You know what's going on, you know if there's an attack going on, the last fraudulent calls, and perhaps that would kind of give you an idea of which destinations should be be considered as dangerous. You would like to know what's going on at those destinations and perhaps make a decision about them. About protection methods. Protection methods are the tools that our system uses to discover fraud and then to take care of it. Those are mostly automatical. Proactive monitoring and behavior analysis are basically fully automatic, and custom rules is kind of semi-automatic. You might want to set it up so that it would work the way you would like it to. You also have Blacklist and Whitelist as your tools to take care and manage the reactions of the system. So proactive monitoring, as you could have seen in the dashboard, if we have some proactive monitoring, no, not right now. So proactive monitoring is basically our database of fraudulent numbers. We are collecting them from our own traffic. We are collecting them from the associations that we're a part of, be it CFCA, i3 Forum, GSMA work groups of anti-fraud, TUFF and UK. And we obviously, we engage in many discussions, and we cooperate with our traffic partners daily, which is how we gather information about what A and B numbers are considered dangerous, and we include them into the database. So we have tens of thousands or perhaps hundreds of thousands of numbers already in this database. We make sure that it stays up to date, and you will be using this extensive database of the numbers to protect yourself from potential attacks. Even though the system includes this database, obviously we cannot give an insight into what actual numbers are consisting in this database. So we kind of give a very simple, very easy to use interface so that you can use it. You can use this tool. You can even tweak it to make sure that it works the way you would like it before actually providing the access to the database of fraudulent numbers. But you can get our word on the fact that our database is one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. As for the interface, there are basically two severity levels of attack. There's high level of attack and there's medium level of attack, which means that the numbers that are being used in the attacks that brought a lot of damage, that were spotted having lots of fraudulent calls, lots of and the regions were different for A and B numbers, they would be there, and our system will be protecting you from that. The difference between basic and premium versions obviously would be that with basic versions, we send you an instant email or instant Slack message or instant Telegram message that is listing the parameters of call or parameters of the attack so that you can make a decision on your own. If you are using premium version with blockages on, with breaking active calls on, then our system would be breaking active calls and blocking and rejecting calls. So with the case of proactive monitoring, if the system has found the fraudulent numbers with basic version, you would give an instant alert. With full-scale version, the traffic would be rejected, and the numbers could be blocked. As you can see, this is what's happening. This is what's happening with high severity level of attack. We have the reject calls and block A numbers for 12 hours as being set up. The alerting policy is set to have all events, so you will have the report of all the calls that were included into this attack, and you can confirm that and put this rule into action. The same thing going on with the medium level of attacks. This is a very easy tool to use. It's not blocking A numbers, but it rejects the calls if it spots the calls with A and B numbers that are being spotted within the fraud activities. So this is a pretty simple tool. Obviously, we're encouraging to trust this tool, and especially if you're using premium version, because we do an extensive work. There's a large team involved making sure that these numbers are up to date, and there are very, very few false positives and false negatives. So we're making sure that you have the best value when you're using FMS by LANCK Telecom. The next protection methods that we are using would be behavior analysis. And this tool is the one that we're especially proud of. This is a neural network that we set up. It analyzes more than 100 parameters and combination of parameters of calls to be kind of matched against the patterns of fraudulent calls and fraudulent scenarios. So what happens is we see patterns of the calls, we see, and patterns are being reflected in combinations of those parameters. And when the pattern matches the pattern of fraudulent calls, of fraudulent call of a certain attack, where obviously we have our system to react and to either automatically alert the user, as in case with basic version, or to reject calls and block numbers and break active calls if necessary with the premium version. Even though the technology is very, very different, the principle that the system is operating on is very different from proactive monitoring. You can already see that the interface is very much alike. It's very, very user-friendly. It's not confusing at all, and it's very easy to master it within like several minutes. You see several severity levels of attacks: critical, high, medium, and low. And when you would think it's necessary, you can kind of change the reactions of the system to increase the period of blocking numbers so that your team would have some more time to investigate the issue, investigate the attack, and perhaps make some calls and talk to your partners as to what's going on. And obviously you can modify the reactions as for alert and policy. You might want to, in some cases, you might want to trust our system completely and not even receive an alert. Or you would like to be alert about attacks or about all events that kind of make this attack. Again, a very simple tool, a very simple interface, even though the technology is complex. We think that you don't have to be a fraud management guru to be 100% or almost 100% efficient in your fraud management techniques. You just need to have the right tool, and we think that LANCK Telecom fraud management system is the right tool. So the next one, proactive monitoring and behavior analysis tools are those that I would like to call automatic tools. They need no supervision, no need any actions to being set up. We have initial settings, and we obviously, before transferring the account into your hands, we make sure that the settings for behavior analysis, they reflect the usual patterns of the traffic, of your traffic that is particular to a certain client. We obviously do our homework, and we always try to deliver maximum value. And with custom rules, it's a little different. We still would like to provide you with maximum value, but with custom rules, you can reflect your knowledge, and you can reflect your statistics. You can reflect your vision of high usage connected to any destination, to any operator, to even any range of numbers, so that the things that you already know about your traffic would be reflected here. Obviously, we cannot have full knowledge about the traffic, or about your traffic, not in the amount that you have. So this tool would allow you to kind of reflect it and to put those threshold-based rules and make sure that the system would like to react as you would react in a certain case with a certain parameters. So you can reflect your vision in terms of a parameter of the call that you would like to set up. We have total charge, we have total duration, call attempts, calls, simultaneous calls, average call duration, or ASR. And you kind of, since you already have those statistics, you can kind of choose the country that you would like to apply it to. You would like to have it applied to a certain ASI grouping. For example, if you're choosing a number, that would be any single a number that would be worked on with this threshold. You can use that for all a numbers. You can use that for any case of empty a number, for some reason you didn't receive a CLI, or you would like to have that applied to a specified a range. And if you have the VIP clients, or if you would see some patterns that are connected with certain ranges, or there's any other specific reason where you would like to keep an eye on a certain number range, that's all possible with this tool. So you can put a certain a range here and apply it, the threshold-based rule for this a range here, to the traffic to a certain country. Obviously, in this case, this is Barbados. Destination would be one of the operators in there, a certain B number in a certain destination. You choose the partner where this B number would be kind of have a closer look on, and a specific B range is also an option. So you're using B destination here, so you're now for example, you would like not to have 100 simultaneous calls for this specified A range and B range. Obviously, this is highly unlikely that you will have in a case like this, so if something happens, the severity is probably critical. And you would like to kind of break calls and block corresponding numbers for example, 12 hours. Specifically with simultaneous calls, since it might take some time to reach this threshold of that many simultaneous calls, then the question is, would the system break those 99 calls that were launched before the threshold was reached? And this is exactly what's going to happen. Once the threshold is being reached, it will break not only the call that kind of triggered the system and became the 100th call, but it will also break the calls that are connected to this particular case that actually are triggering the system without, well, I mean, they're spotted by the system without actually alarming it and triggering the reaction. So it would also break the calls that are connected to that case as well. And again, just like with proactive monitoring behavior analysis, you would like to set up the alert and policy as for all events, just the attacks, or no alerts at all if you trust your system completely. I mean, obviously we have partners that do, and it's a very easy, well, I mean, that's because of a certain parameters that have been put in there. But obviously you will have this tool in a full functionality. If you would like to know how to use proactive monitoring, behavior analysis, custom rules to the fullest, whether you are just thinking about using our fraud management system, or you already are using that in basic version, or you're already in the premium version with full-scale functionality, but still would like to receive some consultation, just reach out to us at fms@lanktele.com, or you can write me at iskutsunya@lanktele.com, and I would be glad to help you out. So again, feel free to ask any questions if you have a question about the dashboard, the fraud calls, fraud attacks, active blockages. If you would like to know more about how proactive monitoring is working, behavior analysis, if you would like to dive into that, or you would like to take a look at a different example of a custom rule being set up, just let me know. We'll get back to that and perhaps show it once more in some other details or in some greater details. We're now moving to enterprise protection, and this is the tool that, and again, with custom rules, I'd like to remind that with basic version, this is alerting only. The system will only alert you. But with full-scale version that we encourage our partners to use, the active calls could be broken, the calls could be rejected, and the numbers could be blocked. So we highly encourage our partners to use the premium version. Voice services and automated voice services are the features of premium version. This is one more tool that we would like to show to the world and let our partners know how to use that to the fullest. So voice services is the tool that we develop in response to certain fraud scenarios that we discovered. We have discovered a pattern where enterprises would be willingly calling fraudulent numbers, and those could be the PRS numbers or any case that probably wouldn't bring them any business, but would certainly be bringing some expenses and some losses into into their financials. So what was happening is that the fraudsters, they would be using bots or would be kind of using manual labor to fill call me back forms for businesses. They would kind of simulate the interest in the services and the products that businesses are selling. Usually they would be from overseas, so they would be kind of inspiring the international calls, and they would be putting the PRS numbers or any other kind of fraudulent numbers as the number by which they can be reached. And this brought kind of a conflict between the service providers and the enterprise clients, because obviously in the enterprise clients, they don't have the expertise and the knowledge as to what's going on in telecom market. They don't know about these scenarios, and obviously they would like to rely on their service provider to protect them from these things from happening. On the other hand, we all know how enterprises hate being denied service. They would like to make the calls wherever they want, whenever they want, in any volume they would like, and they probably wouldn't like if you're telling them how to run their business, especially how to sell their own things that they kind of make a living with. So what was happening is we developed a voice warning system that would allow a voice message to be played in case the enterprise is trying to reach a fraudulent number. So we're not denying them service. We are not, we're showing them that we're protecting them. We're reminding them, hey, we have the security measures in place, and this is how it works. And we're also educating them about the things that could be out there, so that they know and they, not be as willing to dial some suspicious-looking numbers overseas. So what we developed is a tool where you add a business group. We always use ABC Industries. Let's not break this tradition. And you choose a CSV, like an Excel table, which would have the A numbers that is being used by the business. That would mean that A numbers that are provided within this table, they would be included in a special list within the FMS. And whenever the A numbers from this list would like to reach a fraudulent number, there would be a voice warning. In case if there is, if obviously you're using a premium version, if this feature is enabled, the thing is, if the feature is not enabled, then proactive monitoring would be taking care of that. So proactive monitoring would like to make a judgment, to make a decision as to how to use it to the fullest, and they would be kind of deciding what to do with this traffic. And perhaps the enterprises wouldn't be, too happy about it if they would be just denied service. On the other hand, they would like to be protected from the dangers of fraud, of telecom fraud. So by including that there, you're kind of taking the responsibility from proactive monitoring and giving it to voice services. So instead of instant blockage, there would be an IVR, and I hope this sound would work.
The number you are calling is risky. Please press 1 if you want to continue the call.
Did you guys hear that? I hope the sound would be transferred. And this, obviously we can tweak this message. We can do that in any voice you would like. If you have a celebrity, if you have a specific voice, obviously if you would like it to be, if you like this message to be sounded in the language of your choice, we can do that. And just let us know if you would like that to be a female voice, male voice, maybe you have a celebrity in mind and you would like to cooperate with and to kind of provide the message. We can do it all, just let us know, and if you have any kind of other like features that you would like to be included, just let us know. Okay, I can see that the sound is on, great. So, again, it's entirely up to you, entirely up to service provider, whether you would like to include those numbers or exclude them from a database of voice services protected numbers. If you would like to kind of have an additional small fee that you would like to charge your enterprise clients, it's entirely up to you. We think that this feature adds value, and if you think that this value could justify just increasing the bill you give to the customers, but I mean, so be it, because you're basically giving them a better service. As for automated voice services, this feature is very much alike, but it deals with, this feature deals with automated requests for voice messages. A very specific example would be one-time passwords. As we all know, one-time passwords are usually delivered by SMS messages, and this is the most convenient way. SMS is still out there with the best characteristics of delivery and being read, especially if compared to OTTs. But in some regions of the world, it would justify from the financial standpoint to use voice messages, where you would have an automated voice message being delivered to the customer saying, your access code is 1234, your access code is 1234. So if it would kind of help you out and perhaps provide a better service, if you have a celebrity voice, or you have like some funny message that you would like to deliver that along with the code, then this is the tool that you could be using. It kind of gives a personal touch to that. So, I mean, not in terms of the cost, but in terms of the whole user experience, perhaps you could try this feature. Still, the fraudsters could be using that, and they would be trying to kind of inquire for delivery of multiple messages by this channel, and they would kind of inquire to have like 1,000 or 10,000, or in some cases tens of thousands of these passwords were delivered to certain numbers. And the thing about it is, obviously, the users must be authenticated, and businesses again would not like those numbers not to be delivered to intended customers, like with no explanations or whatever. So the thing is, but still, you're kind of, they would incur losses. That would kind of bring down the channel of delivery of one-time password, and obviously this would spoil the customer experience. So we highly recommend educating your customers about that feature, educating them about if you saw that under traffic, and obviously if they would like to be protected from that scenario, to again use automated voice services, include them into the business group, upload their numbers so that they have a better business. They have an easier life. Again, both enterprise protection features are a part of premium version, and even if you are using premium and you would like to kind of use that feature to the fullest and maybe ask some questions, maybe perhaps you would like to know more about it, let us know, reach out to us, and we will be kind of enabling that feature for you. As for Blacklist and Whitelist, those are two standard features. I mean, pretty much any fraud management system would have those, and ours is no exception. I guess the main difference would be, as with all the protection methods being used, is that our system is real time. Still, there are many systems out there that are using CDR uploads that aren't as fast as ours. And the thing is that all the features listed, be it proactive monitoring, analysis, custom rules, or enterprise protection, or blacklist in that matter, they're being used instantly with no hesitation, and while saving money for operators and their enterprise clients. The same thing with whitelist. We all have the list of the clients that shouldn't be denied service no matter what. So if you would like to have that list updated, you can use our interface and kind of use that for blacklist and whitelist. Adding numbers to whitelist and blacklist is super easy. You just add them one by one and you choose whether you would like that to be A number or B number. You include a specific number or a range that number is included into, and you kind of push add, or you would like to upload a table with many of those numbers. Obviously, when you're uploading them, you choose whether it's an A range or B range, you choose a CSV file, you upload it, and you kind of have it appear here. When you obtain access to your platform, obviously the blacklist and whitelist would be empty, and this is entirely up to you how to fill it and how to use it. Again, if you would like some numbers to be filled in there instead of you doing that, we can totally do that. Just let us know through myself at iSkutsenia at LANCK.com, through your voice manager at LANCK, or at fms@lanktele.com. Also, we have alerts and reports, and this is kind of a user feature that is kind of not reflecting the functionality, but it would kind of affect the way you use it and the value that you yourself as a user would like to get from the system. So what happens is you could be a person that is directly dealing with fraud cases. You could be on a manager level, you could be on a CXO level, or you could be like someone that kind of needs this data like only once a week or once a month. So for example, for those that are dealing with cases daily, we would like to have all those, we would recommend to have all those toggles on, because this is basically what you do, and you would like to be notified as fast as possible, you would like to know as much as possible, and you would like to receive all the reports imaginable. If you are more of in a leadership position, you would like to not to be concerned about each and every alert, but definitely you would like to be notified about the rule changes. someone's introducing the changes into the reaction of the system, and this is definitely some serious matter, and you would like to know what's going on with that, but you would like to receive like daily reports, weekly reports, monthly report. If you're in a CXO position, perhaps you would like to receive weekly reports and monthly reports. It would depend on your role, on the kind of the function that you are a senior officer at, whether you would like to have notifications about rule changes enabled or disabled. It's entirely up to you. And if you are in the reporting position, like for example, you are someone in the accounting department that you would like, and you would like to know more as to what's going on with fraud, whether there's a spike or what to expect, you can just get yourself only monthly report and see what's going on. Again, you can always see the monthly statistics as for fraudulent calls and attacks on the dashboard right here. This is kind of gives you the overview of the system, all the basic information to meet your immediate needs, the things that you'd better know like right away, and yeah, just it lets you know what's going on and how the system works, and if there's an attack taking place or not. So this is about it. Again, we highly encourage the operators that are already using the system in the basic version to reach out to us and perhaps try the premium version, try the version that instantly blocks calls, reject calls, and breaks active calls, because we put a lot of work in that system, and we know for a fact that it is operating just with the highest standards met. We know that our system, if it's not the best anti-fraud system in the world, this is one of the best systems in the world. Our neural network is very, very much sophisticated. We have a wonderful team working on it with some serious degrees in analytics and statistics. We know for a fact that our neural network is definitely worth a lot. So we kind of encourage our partners to be using that to full scale. Not just limit yourself with just alerting. If you're someone that is not using our system yet, let us know as well. Reach out to us through your account manager at LANCK Telecom, to myself directly, iSkutsenia@lanktele.com, or to the email of our anti-fraud team. That would be fms@lanktele.com, and would be glad to help you out and to get you integrated, to create your own account. And this system would be monitoring the traffic that you terminate through us, whether it would be basic version, where you would only get alerts, or that could be a premium version where you have the full functionality working for you. Again, there are some cases where the company would like to use that system for all of their traffic, and we'll already have clients like this that would like our system to analyze all the traffic that they have, whether it's being terminated through LANCK or not. We can do it. We can install that within your security perimeter or at the cloud service provider of your choice. And the system would analyze and work on the traffic regardless of whether you terminate it through LANCK routing or not. I think this concludes the formal part, and if you have the questions that you would like to ask, if you would like to know about the system as a whole or some function in particular, let us know in the comment section. I can see that there are already people commenting there, so this section is active. Just let me know what you would like to know more about, and I'd be happy to help. Yeah, go ahead. I see no immediate questions, but let's give it several minutes. Perhaps the questions would appear in the comments section. And yeah, if you would like to know more about it, be our guest. Okay, so the system as a whole, we developed it, and Shani Shrima Chivaria, thank you very much for your question. About the system as a whole, we started off as an internal tool. Obviously, we are receiving lots of global traffic, and sadly, there are many fraudulent cases in there. So we realized that we need a very, very efficient tool, as efficient as possible, to counter the fraud that we encounter in our business. So at first, we developed this analytical platform with a database of numbers for our own use, so that we would counter whatever's terminate through us and is fraudulent. And after several years of being active, we just realized that our system is very, very effective, especially if compared to the legacy system that still use CDR uploads, and B, that it's actually possible to provide external access to it and to devote a portion of this platform to a traffic of a certain partner, which means that we can kind of give our partners an opportunity to use that system on their behalf. So there is a way to devote our computational ability and neural network to be analyzing the specific traffic of a specific partner, and if needs be, we can block it, reject active calls, etc., or just alert about something that is going on. And yeah, this is basically how it went. And the more partners that are using our system, the better neural network is, the more precise it is, the more granular the blocking is, because everyone probably remembers those times when, to take care of the fraud, you blocked the whole number ranges or the whole destinations. And while you remove the problem, but you lose a lot of business with it, and you make some decisions that perhaps you shouldn't have been making. And when you have a very, very kind of laser focused tool that gives that kind of makes this work very, very precise, very granular, it makes your business a lot better and a lot easier, especially if you don't have to control it manually. So being very, very precise and automatic is the value that our system provides, and we're very happy to share it. I think we're approaching 20 tier 1 operators that are already using our system. We are we have more than 100 operators and voice service providers worldwide that is using it, be it in basic version or premium version, and we're happy they do. Can it be used internationally? So Shani Sharima Shavriya asks, can it be used internationally? In my case, I'm in Belize, Central America, so how can it be set up in my region if I decide to use it for my company or suggest it to other companies? This is a great question. Thank you very much for that. Reach out to us, and we will figure it out how to install the system in a proper location with the proper functionality. Obviously, you would like to analyze not only the traffic that you terminate through LANCK, but perhaps you would like to analyze all your traffic, or kind of give the service to the companies that you work with. The system can be deployed within your security parameter on your equipment in a cloud service provider of your choice. So it's all possible. Reach out to us. We obviously, in order to decide the perfect way to integrate the platform for you. We need to know more about your network. We need to understand the topology of your network, perhaps the equipment you could be devoting, perhaps the cloud service providers that you work with or are in your area, and we will figure out the best way to integrate it. The main answer that I would like to give, that yeah, it's all possible. Okay, we have, and I'm terribly sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly, Janez Modic from Beletel, from Slovenia. Very nice meeting you, Janez. Let me know if you detect with this tool also the A number manipulation changes. We would not be aware as there are so many new OB destinations appearing every month. Okay. The system is not directly designed to know if the A number is manipulated or not. The thing is, we will know if there is a sudden surge of the calls that are particular to fraudulent scenarios, that are unexpected, that are very unusual. Obviously, if the partner is unaware about its origin, that's a clear kind of case of fraud. But still, we will not know directly. We don't have the functionality inside of the system that would directly kind of point out to the A number manipulation. But we definitely would see that something is going on, and we will spot the unusual traffic, and we will definitely see something. I would like to highlight that there are tools out there that are slightly more focused on A number manipulation, and our kind of partner company has a solution like this, a perfect solution like this. And if you would like to know more about this solution that is specifically designed to counter the A number manipulation, that could be with robocalls, with CLI spoofing, with One-Geary, let us know. Like reach out to your account manager, to your voice account manager at LANCK, or your contact at LANCK, or to myself, to fms@lanktele.com. And we will surely be referring you to the right people, because we think that there's a perfect tool against that. And again, thank you very much for the question. Okay, great. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Janez. I hope I'm saying the name right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words. Yeah. Shani Shrimachevaria, appreciate it as well, and thank you for being with us. And guys, if you need some more time to kind of think about the question, we will stay here for some more time. And if you would like, if you think about the question later on when the when the presentation is over, just reach out to us, and we'll be glad to help you out. I'll be listing the generic email that you could be using for your inquiries about anti-fraud in the comment section, just in case. And this is the email that you could be using for any inquiries about anti-fraud. That could be just a generic question about the system. That could be the inquiry if you would like to start using it, if you are not using it right now but you would like to. And if you would like to switch from basic version to premium version, reach out to us and know about the features, and we'll help you out and switch you from basic version to the premium one. And if you would like to know more about the premium version, how you can use it to full extent, let us know through fms@lanktele.com, and it's here in the comment section. I think we can give it like 3 more minutes. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions that may arise about our system or any other anti-fraud practices that are out there. Oh, and by the way, if you would like to have webinars about any other any other like features or products or any other topics, we can set it up. Again, you can kind of use the comment section for suggestions if you would like to know more about our messaging practices, if you would like to know more about our voice business, if you would like to know more about the authentication services that we provide, if you would like to know more about the mobile marketing that we do, just let us know again in the comment section, and we'll be surely to do something about it. So, okay. Can this be used for any particular business, or is it only for telecommunication businesses or call centers? Well, it could be installed at any enterprise that has international voice calls. It's all possible. Obviously, if you would like to be connected to LANCK directly through enterprise, as an enterprise for voice services, then yeah, sure. It's as easy of a setup as it is with any voice partner, especially if you terminate the traffic through LANCK. If your business is not a telecommunication service provider, but you would like to have that system installed on your premises, it's also possible. It's just that obviously there would be costs involved, and you'd better have some international calls volume that would be justifying the system to be installed. Otherwise, I could say that it probably would make a lot more sense if you just terminate traffic through LANCK. If you're not like a telecom business, it's better to have a partner like LANCK, which is very knowledgeable with any aspects of voice business, of any voice services, that has the solutions like FMS here. It's
we understand that there are security requirements, and you'd better have all the security solutions be installed within your security perimeter. But yeah, it's always good to have like a kind of a big brother that knows more about the voice service business and can help you out not only with the fraud but with everything else. So it's possible. It's just that maybe there's a better way. If you would like to do that, yeah, sure, we'll help you out. And Shani, thank you very much for a question. I think we can wait for like maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we're good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Shani. I appreciate it. Yeah. And thank you for being here with us. I think I just got the message from our leader in terms of FMS, the person that is basically running the system. Maybe we will have a feature added about a number manipulation within FMS. It's something that we're thinking about, but it's not yet ready. So, but we definitely recognize the threat. We recognize that it's a fraud that we'd better counter, and perhaps at some point we will be adding this functionality into a fraud management system. Okay, I think we're good for today. Thank you very much for everyone who participated, and thank you very much to our wonderful LANCK team for making that webinar possible. We hope you enjoyed that. We hope you learned a lot. We hope to kind of increase your business with us. We hope to get you on the fraud management system if you're not yet using it. We hope to provide premium version of fraud management system if you're still on basic version. And yeah, we appreciate your business, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.